I've started working with my brother Andrew Maitland. He suffered an injury 12 years ago, and from the injury he lost his sight and a lot of his brain function. So through this year I have tried to find ways to make art more accessible to him and to others like him. I kept the whole exhibition to the flower motif. He used to be a horticulturist, so he would often speak about flowers and the landscape. So I kept it within his kind of way of seeing, or his visual memory. I pinpricked them for him to feel. Previously to this, he wasn't able to really see what he had drawn or painted, so I tried to make it just more accessible to him. These little boxes that I've selected here, they then again speak to the flower motif. I've selected these two because I chose them because they're really small and intimate, so encouraging the viewer again to look more closely and more actively, and how that relates. In the artwork I have my brother describing an image that he has in his head, and so I'm trying to take away from our ability, and I'm trying to allow space for him to have control and to be able to see the images that he is seeing. And he is describing the artwork that he's seeing to the viewer. They're again encouraging the viewer to build an image up in their mind. And then if we move over to this drawing, I took some photos of him a while ago. Some of them were very, very dark, and in this drawing I chose the dark ones because I had to look a bit further, I had to look a bit deeper. It wasn't easy for me. I zoomed up very, very close into the images, so it was pixelated, and they were just kind of like subtle shifts of grey, and then I had to make sense of it through my mind to build up an image again. I chose these beads because, you know, when you close your eyes, you like close your eyes and then you open your eyes and you see a whole lot of colours like flickering. From my understanding of what I've read about it, it's basically that you have phosphenes that are in your eyes that are activated through this process. It also happens if you spend long periods of confinement in the dark, hence my title of my exhibition. So this artwork, Dead Flowers, I've tried to keep it very hands-on. I had to feel my way through the artwork. I didn't have any final image that I had in mind. I was just working on it, feeling my way through it. And what I like about this artwork, and those kind of discussions I've had with other people about it, everyone sees something else in it. Like, it's a very unfamiliar thing, this object. It's not defined like lots of artwork is, and that allows the space again for the viewer to make their own meaning. I mean, because his brain isn't like functioning as it used to, he's quite, I don't know, there's been a certain response, but not a very in-depth kind of response. But I had a lot of other people from the brain support group who were here, okay. And they really loved the involvement of Andrew. Like, they said they find his voice in particular very therapeutic. I've become much more aware about my looking, on my involvement with my eyes, I don't know, and with my brain. I mean, you have to, it's a good idea to look a bit more carefully, or to look a bit more closely, a bit more slowly.